Hi everybody, it's Miss Diana at the Wyndham Public Library. I'm outside today doing our first of 9 lab coat adventures, our third year doing this. It's been a huge success and now we're obviously doing it virtually. So hopefully I'll remember to tell you all the things I want to tell you because I have so many great things to tell you. But if you didn't already know, the library is actually open now. Feel free to come in. Anyway, I don't want to get into too much of that. I want to talk more about our science for today. But if you do want to come and get some items and you feel more comfortable doing curbside, we do that as well too. And a really important thing I want to tell you that's really awesome for those of you who are interested in lab coat adventures, obviously that would be you watching me now. We have made 30, 25, I can't remember how many. We made a bunch of kits ready for you. So most of the supplies you're going to need to do these 9 lab coat adventures are things you probably have at home. But just in case you don't, you're welcome to come in or go for the curbside. We have made these lovely bags full of the 9 different supplies you're going to need for the 9 weeks we have upcoming. The only thing that's not going to be in there is, of course, things you really should probably have in your house: scissors, tape, pencils, things like that. So anyway, that was the most important thing. By all means, please come in. It's first come, first serve. When we run out of the supplies, we run out. But anyway, by all means, go for it. I think that's all that I wanted to say before we started. The sciences are going to be obviously a little simpler this time because we have to keep it simple. Obviously, you're not going to take apart your computers at home like we did last summer. That was pretty cool, but I don't want to get you in trouble. So, anyway, for today, it is called Life in a Square. Obviously, I'm outside, so you're going to need to do this one outside. And here are the supplies that you're going to need for today. I'm going to try to see if I can read this backwards. 4 wooden skewers or sticks or pencils, a ruler, string or yarn, any of that. Yeah, there's always, for most everything, there's always a substitute for it. That's fine. A small notebook, graph paper, preferably a notebook that has graph paper in it, pencil, magnifying glass. If you don't have one of the real old-fashioned kind, you could probably use a cell phone. And patience, of course. You're going to need that with a lot of these. So anyway, that is your list of supplies for today. Now, this is pre-recorded, so at any point you can pause this. You can always go back and say, oh shoot, I didn't see the list, I want to see it again. Get your supplies, start it up again, and join me for the fun and the exploring. So, in our bag, again, hopefully you have things at home if you can't come in. We have our 4 wooden skewers, I have my string, and we have these pre-made great little notebooks that have graph paper on them. Alright, graph paper is with the squares, whatever. It doesn't matter what size they are, it's up to you. Alright, so I hope you can see what I'm going to do now. What we're going to do, it's a little tricky because we're outside and I'm my own camera person here too. Alright, 4 sticks. They don't have to be skewers, but just straight and kind of long. Now what you're going to do is go in your yard. You need to find the perfect spot. I would suggest it needs to be out of the way from somewhere where it won't get mowed down or run over or too near a road. You don't want to have it be dangerous. But the part that's really cool is you're looking for, it's called Life in a Square. You're looking for as much life as possible in this square on your yard. I have chosen one already. What I have here, and I'm looking, I wish you could see it. Let's give it a shot. There's a variety of plants growing there, and that's what I like. There's a little bit of grass, there's a fern, there's a bug on my head. That's part of life. There's some flowers, there's some dead sticks or broken sticks, whatever. There's a variety of things if this is what you want, because you're going to study it over the next 9 weeks. That's where the patience comes in. So hopefully you can watch them. Let's see how it goes. I'm going to set this down, and this is where the ruler comes in. This is my great spot. Alright, you're going to stick your stick in the ground. First one, anywhere. I've got some grass, some flowers, right there. Now you take your ruler and you're going to measure exactly 12 inches from that first stick you put in over here. All right, first one's easy. Now we're going to try to make it a square shape. So then you're going to put your stick, measure your ruler here and go another 12 inches. Put your stick in the ground there. All right, and so far, now the last one over here. Again, I hope that you can see this. You got 12 inches right there. 12 inches, perfect square. All right, so now in your kit, you got your string or your yarn. It's 5 feet long. So we have, we're gonna have to use some math here. The perimeter there is 4 feet, so I added an extra. So you can do this any way you want. Let's see, I'm trying to do, this is getting tricky. All right, you're gonna go around, you're basically making like a little boxing ring with your string. All right, you know what, I'm finding that I think it might be best to tie it as you go. All right, let's tie a little bit here and go over here. We're gonna wrap it around, over here, wrap it around again. So this is my life in a square. All right, and then when you get to the end, you're going to tie the 2 pieces together. And inside this perfect square that you've created, you're going to observe it. You know, you could do it every day. Probably not going to be too many changes day to day. But you're going to check it 1 week at a time. And in this notebook that we have here, and you make your own notebook if you can't come in, the graph paper, I have 9 sheets here, 1 for each week, because the 1 week's of the summer. All right, so you're going to draw in your square kind of what it looks like. You can make notes, whatever. Can you see that? Yes, you can. I can't see that. So, okay. So, anyway, right now what I see is probably about, oh, I see an ant. We have my first critter that's not a plant, our first fauna, not flora. All right, I see about 9 different kinds of plants with all different shapes, leaves. It's really pretty kind of cool. And again, if you come to the library, you're welcome to join and look at my square here next time you come. So, in your kits, if you don't get the kits, I have a bunch of questions I want to ask you. That we're going to go back up here. I think you get the idea of how this looks. So some of the questions you want to ask yourself and would be, all right, first of all, I already answered one of the questions. How many different types of plants are growing there? And you'd be surprised how many. I mean, I was really actually quite surprised. I thought there'd be only 3 or 4, but there's more like 12 to 15 for myself. Can you identify any of them? That's, of course, an obvious question. I love the heart shape, and I was like, okay, so are any of the leaves heart shaped? I do see a couple there. The violets have heart shaped leaves. How many different shades of green? Just multiple. I don't know how good your eyes are with colors. That's another question to ask you. As I was over there, had the camera down there, I saw this big black ant go by. And that was pretty cool, because that's what you want to see, is how many different living critters are living there. And week to week, do you see any evidence that wildlife has passed by? And you can be creative with how you can figure out, by some crazy chance, would you see footprints or some kind of animal droppings, perhaps? I would suggest you draw a picture each week just to see how it changes. You know, we haven't had a lot of rain lately, so you know, it's going to change day to day. Oh, I got an ant on me. That's one of our friends. Some more scientific questions to ask you. Do you think any of these plants benefit from us or us from them? Do we have any kind of relationship going on with any of these plants? Please don't eat them. And please also, no poison ivy. Don't go anywhere near that. If you know if there's 3 leaves, just maybe go somewhere else. Okay. Anyway, those are basically the main questions we have there. Again, I said most of these sciences are going to be kind of short and sweet, but this one's going to last and last. You know, some of you might be more into rocks or space or whatever like that, and this might bore you. I get it. That's okay. We're going to try to change up the sciences for each week here, to have hopefully something that'll interest all of you at some point. but I keep looking at it. I really like it. So there's flora and there's fauna. There's plants and there's hopefully going to be some little critters. You may have to dig a little to find some worms. We'll see. Anyway, I hope you have fun. I hope you join me again. I hope I remembered to tell you all the things I wanted to tell you. So next week, this is going to be for every Tuesday at 4:30, or 4 o'clock. And again, it doesn't matter. You don't have to be prompt. You don't have to be here. Well, I'm going to be away that week, and that's okay. Because these are all pre-recorded. You can watch them all one day. Or space them out just to give yourself something to do each week. We also have 5 crafts with craft bags. Yes, there are. Coming up for this summer. And we're going to do one a week, commas or critters, if you're interested. And those are going to be going Saturday mornings. And by all means, get on our website and check out, or give us a call and just check out our schedule and our time. It's posted on there. For our next lab coat adventures, bubble wrap rainbow supplies. Now, we have spares of that if we do run out of these bags. By all means, please come in if you can and if you're comfortable. So, if anybody has any bubble wrap at home, this one is so cool. And again, this is another going to be outside one. And if you can't do it next Tuesday, and if it rains, that's okay. We'll just wait till it stops raining. So, we need the bubble wrap. You need the kind with the big bubbles. The small bubbles won't work for this particular one. You're going to need scissors, 3 small jars or glasses are fine, with a little bit of water in them, a pipette or an eyedropper. You do need specifically that. You need to have just... Sometimes there's a substitute for everything, but this particular one you have to have yellow, red, and blue food coloring. Otherwise this won't work. It won't be nearly as spectacular. So, again, we can set you up if you really don't have those items at home. Let us know. 2 clothespins and some sort of clothesline or string, because you're going to do this experiment outside. You're going to string a wire across between 2 trees, 2 chairs, whatever the case may be that you have. So I hope you join me next time. I hope you enjoy your life in a square. It's good to see you, and we'll see you again next week. Thanks. Bye.